Hey, it's Ty Crandall with Credit Suite, and what would you say if I told you there was a secret credit report used by everybody from insurance companies to law enforcement to lenders and credit issuers that has your entire life's history in it that you probably don't know about, have never seen? That's what we're going to cover in this video. I'm going to introduce you to LexisNexis. This is the root of where everything comes from. And I'm going to teach you what's on this report, how to get the report, and I'm going to introduce you to the most intrusive thing you've probably ever seen in your life. So you've probably pulled your credit report before, right? Well, let me show you mine. This is my LexisNexis credit report. It's like a book. It's 300 pages long, and I bet you yours is probably the same, if not longer. So what's in this thing? Well, first of all, before we get into it, let's talk about who uses it. So many organizations use your LexisNexis credit report, from insurance companies to law enforcement, lenders, credit issuers, suppliers, utility companies. They're all looking at this to determine all kinds of things. So if you've ever been surprised by underwriting decisions when you go to get a loan or a mortgage, or even to get an insurance policy and all that crazy information they have about you, guess what? They're getting it all from here. And it's completely free for you to get a copy of this credit report. So what's in this thing? What's in this book? Well, first of all, let's start with everything. Every email address you've ever owned, every address you've ever had, every phone number you've ever had, the homes that you've owned, the actual building materials of the home, whether it's 1 floor, 2 floors, the garage, the size, the square footage, the homeowners association, every mortgage you've ever had, the title companies you use to close the actual loan, the interest rates that you've actually had on that as well, all loans that they know about, all that information's in here. Every traffic ticket, every misdemeanor, every felony, everything to do with your records, anything to do with law enforcement is in here as well. Every vehicle that you've ever owned, the VIN number for those vehicles, every insurance policy that you've ever had as well, every license you've ever had issued, every license you've ever had revoked, whether you've been married, whether you've been divorced, your family's information, your kids' information. Let me see if I got it all. Not even close. A lot more information is in this credit report. This is the most intrusive thing I've ever seen in my life, and I'll tell you how I found it. Because we tried to get an SBA loan, and they tried to collateralize my home when there was no need to. And come to find out, there were judgments on my LexisNexis credit report that weren't even on my regular credit report. The reason is it was bogus. These judgments didn't even exist. So I had to go through this whole process to work with the county to actually prove a negative, to prove I didn't have judgments that LexisNexis said that I did. And when I cleared them up, I no longer had any problems with bank accounts, merchant accounts, and loans in the future. The second thing that happened when trying to get my SBA loan was they asked, have I ever been convicted of a crime? And I said, no, I'm a straight shooter. I'm sure you say the same thing on your applications as well. And sure enough, they came back with a misdemeanor that I had when I was way younger that I hadn't even thought about. Then I had to go through this whole explanation of why I lied to them. And I didn't lie. I didn't even remember it. I literally had to pull a background check on myself to even know what they were talking about. And then remember when I was like 20 years old and in the Air Force, I did this whole thing with the wheelie and the police officer wasn't impressed. There's a whole story behind it, but I can come to tell you that nearly 30 years later, it came back to bite me because it's all housed right here. So you need to get your LexisNexis credit report. You need to make sure this information is accurate, because every life insurance policy you get, every car insurance, home insurance policy, whenever you're pulled over by the police, everything else is all in this information. And so it's very important that you get a copy of your LexisNexis credit report for free and update the information. So how do you do that? Well, go right online and Google LexisNexis credit report. You're going to find a one-page form that you're able to fill out and mail to LexisNexis. Within 30 days, they will mail you your book, and you can take a look at basically every detail of your life right here. And then know when you get this information that it's being used by all of these sources. So if there's information in there you believe to be inaccurate or don't want to be seen, then you need to dispute it directly with LexisNexis to get this information updated or removed. It's very important. Once you do this one time, you're going to find all kinds of issues you've had in the past magically go away. Let me give you an example. If you've ever tried to dispute a public record on your consumer credit report with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, guess where they're verifying that information? You guessed it, LexisNexis. They are not going to the actual courthouse to verify that information. So if you ever had a bankruptcy on your credit report or a judgment and you tried to dispute it and they said the information was verified, next time go to LexisNexis, dispute it, and have it removed there, then dispute it with the credit bureaus, and you'll typically see that item come right off your credit report because the credit bureaus, like everyone else, use this LexisNexis credit report to get all kinds of information about you. Now, I don't think anybody should have information about you that you don't have yourself. So make sure you get a free copy of your LexisNexis credit report so you know what others know about you. And to get started on building your business credit that also makes you more lendable and gets you the money you need from these lenders and credit issuers when you need it, visit us online at creditsuite.com/EIN for a free guide that maps out the exact steps to build business credit, including how to improve your fundability by accessing these type of secret credit reports and all the other places that reporting agencies get your information online to have the best chances of getting approved for the most money for your business.